Here's 2 games I played against GoBengels41. I won the dice roll. As always, I am playing Sliver Queen, and my opponent is playing Edric, so this should be a good match. One of the best commanders in the format right there. Funny thing is, I don't think the Edric deck itself is very good, but the commander's so good, and the deck abuses the commander so well, that it's an excellent deck, and always quite significant challenge. Opponents lead off with a first turn elf, as Edric decks tend to do. Goes for Edric. I need the stall. Can have that, so counter it. At least he's 5 mana now. Thought really hard about orbing here. Then I thought about maybe bouncing. I decided, nah, neither one of those was what I was looking for. And look at this nice pile. So I obviously want to get rid of the basic planes, but what do you do here? I put back a trop and then just said go. There's no point in telling him I have a Mox Diamond. Turns out he's got a probe, so now he knows whatever. Jace takes a hit. Okay. Down comes Sackland, because we don't want to draw that planes up there. I draw 3 just for options, put back planes, and get down with my Mox Diamond. I put back Deep Analysis as well. Get down with my Mox Diamond, Felwar Stone, and the Orb. So he can actually activate Treetop and go ahead and kill Jace here. But I put the Deep Analysis on top, so I'm not going to use the Delta because I'd like to draw the Deep. So that after he kills Jace, I have more to do. Turns out he's got an instant 2/1 with Death Touch. Seems adequate. Not a first pick, but yeah, it's alright. Anyway, it's going to get Jace killed. But Jace has already done its job. So, I don't want the planes that's on top, like I said before, so I shuffle it away now and draw some cards. If he had had a counter, then I could have just cast Crucible and gone that route. But he didn't, so I cast Crucible anyway. Because I actually don't care about Crucible, and what I do care about is drawing more cards in Deep Analysis. Crucible right now is alright, and if it resolves, that'd be good, but just wasn't that important to the way that this game is playing out. Winter Orb is the key card here. So now I deep, and it's good. Molested. I'm able to play land and say go. So it looks like he's needing his elf for something. For whatever reason, I was thinking I was anticipating him playing land, so I was thinking he had one. So I make this play in this way. Had he played a land, I would have drawn 2 planes there, of course, but no big deal. And because I don't know what he's going to do, but he untapped the elf and said go, I'm assuming he's going to do something. I decided not to Imperial Seal just yet. I have the Mystical Tutor option, and I can cast the Mystical off the Felwar, while Imperial Seal will require me to tap a land. So I wanted the ability to unlock an extra land under the orb. So as it turns out, he's got some bounce. Whatever. Bounce doesn't help here. Unless it's backed up by a counterspell. Sadly for him, it's backed up by Umezawa's Jite, which is pretty worthless against me, at least on the initial hit. And very worthless when you have no creatures, so I decided to go ahead and take care of that issue now. So down are going to come. So I'm going to Terminus during his upkeep, and then I'm going to play the Felwar and most likely Vess, or I'll just play Karn. Or I'll play Felwar Orb and Imperial Seal. Probably the third option. But if I remember right, I think he gives up here. So I just go for Karn. I mean, actually, I'm in great shape, right? Yeah, that's it. I was going to Karn and exile his Treetop Village, but he has had enough, so we move on to game 2. And game 2, he chooses to go first, of course. This hand is not a bad hand at all, so I decided to keep it. It is not a great hand, especially against Edric, but it just got a lot better going second. Take it down with tax. And there we go. Good stuff happens. We're drawing 3 cards on turn 2. That's the way we like it. So I just want to stall and draw another card. Another turn for Edric not to be there. Another chance for me to find like a Soul Ring or, hey, an Abyss. Of course, I want to spend... I have 8 cards in hand, so I need to spec in order to get down to 7. Plus, it's a virtual draw 3. When my opponent lapses, it's fine. And then he misses a land drop. So this game's not going too well for him. So instead of walking the spec into whatever he's got, there's a chance that he's going to draw and discard next turn. So I go ahead and just play Muddle, which he is unlikely to be able to counter. I go get Scroll Rag to go with my land tax and to be another artifact towards Opal. And just say go. So he doesn't, as it turns out, he does not fail to hit his land drop. So I didn't get a freebie with that play. I go for a rack. And he has a counter, which is fine. See, the funny thing is, I actually wanted spec a little bit more here, because I do know he's playing artifacts. He's probably playing Sylvan Library. I want to draw a couple extra cards, and ultimately, I drew that Crucible of Worlds. So, playing tax rat games at this point is less valuable than getting a Crucible in play and then just owning him with Strip, which will turn off tax. So the Scroll Rack was bait. Now, had he landed, I'd certainly be in a better position, but and he was right to counter it. But I led with that intentionally. So now, either way, Humility or the Abyss, we're happy no matter how this plays out. And if he counters this, I've got Land Crucible. He does not, and look at that, mana drain. So I get down with Plateau there. Probably should have just played Grave, but it's fine. Anyway, I made the comment to him about Edric trying to play Drago. You'd think it could because it's filled with counters, but it's just filled with counters, and that doesn't really work out too well against an actual control deck with a game plan. So I go for Crucible, and for whatever reason it resolves. Having declared my attack step, so I'd have the mana next turn. So and I just decided to say go here. I could have activated the Strip right away, but I just wanted to see what was going to happen. I had time. So he goes for a bounce, and then I just decide, okay, well, whatever. I was going to strip it during his upkeep if he had no play at the end of my turn. If he had a play at the end of my turn, I strip it at the end of my turn. I'd prefer to strip during his upkeep so that if he happened to have like something funky like Teferi's Response, I could fight a counter war with him on his turn. But since he used some of his mana now, it's fine to strip. He plays a Spellstutter Sprite. What's interesting about this play is that this doesn't give you a choice. So if he had 2 fairies in play, and he, having played the Sprite, he would actually have had to counter his own Rushing River. He doesn't, but I don't care about 1/1s. So yeah, he can have that, and he can have the bounce spell. I'm just going to discard land, which is no problem when you have a Crucible Worlds in your hand. He's down to 4 cards. Goes for Edric so he can refill, and yeah, he doesn't have a counter to go with. So he just basically casts my Crucible Worlds for me, which will then strip mine his breeding pool, which, well, and then I'm going to play the Abyss, you know, or Humility, followed by whichever ones I didn't play. So he gives up. Hope you enjoyed them. As always, here's the deck list here. I'm posting a lot of games today, so check the rest out if you're interested, and I'll see you next time.